Let's start down and let's see what's going on down in North Carolina.
North Carolina. So North Carolina is a state that is not recreational or medicinal.
Yeah, those Carolina states, the same with South Carolina. I don't know what's going on in the Carolinas, but hopefully we can get some movement in the right direction.
It's some old Southern old school thinking is what's going on.
That's exactly what's happening. So North Carolina, this is a source from mjbizdaily.com. And they have a story on North Carolina lawmakers, a lawmaker who is introducing an adult use cannabis legalization bill. And this is a step in the right direction. However, these attempts in the past have failed. But, listen, we got to keep knocking on the door and hopefully somebody come through. But, they don't have legal marijuana yet.
So they just introduced a medicinal bill.
Yeah, they just introduced a medicinal bill. This is State Representative Jordan Lopez.
So let me tell you, this is interesting that we're talking about this now because I spoke to a friend of mine this morning, and she is considering making a move to a property that she's looking at in North Carolina. And they're going to buy like this property with multiple houses on it, and her sister who lives in Florida is going to come. But the sister won't come until this weed situation gets worked out.
Okay, well, they have medicinal in Florida?
They have medicinal in Florida, and then recreational just got shot down in November.
So she doesn't want to go backwards. She want to make sure she can have her wellness and continue her lifestyle.
Yeah. So what's the outlook? Is this something that's going to go through or not?
Well, he introduced, Representative Jordan Lopez introduced House Bill 413, Marijuana Legalization and Reinvestment Act. So basically, if it's passed, these are the things that he wants. He wants to legalize the possession of up to 2 ounces and 6 plants and make it legal to have 6 plants. He also wants to create a social equity first industry by giving historically impacted applicants, that's people who've been caught up in the law or have records or things of that nature. He wants to give them a head start to apply for business licenses, give them a 6-month head start. He wants to impose a limit on how many marijuana businesses can be owned by a major investor, try to cut down on the monopoly in big business.
MSOs?
Yes. He wants to impose. Now, this is one of the things where many of the states and pretty much all the states kind of go wrong a little bit in the beginning. He kind of stifles business, but he wants to impose a 30% state excise tax on adult use cannabis.
That's the problem.
That just chokes people up, from the cultivators, from the dispensaries, and every segment. But let's go on. So he wants to allow municipalities to impose an additional 2% tax. So, this taxation, it's tough. He also wants to create an Office of Community Reinvestment and expunge past offenses. So, these.
I'm okay with the last part.
Yeah, no doubt. So
I'm okay with that part.
Yeah, let's go there and let's start there.
But you're right. The 30% is just it puts the program in such a bad place to be. Because you're forcing your citizens to buy overpriced fucking weed.
That's what happened. So I'll take it back, 10 years ago.
And it also perpetuates the black market. It keeps the black market.
That's exactly what it does. And this is, it's supposed to do the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Going legal.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So the taxes is an issue. Okay. So now, you can't get medicinal marijuana in North Carolina, red constituents, but there's a tribal community.
Oh, yeah.
In North Carolina.
Didn't know that.
That has opened a dispensary.
Already.
And
who do they sell to? Who do they sell to?
So they're at, say they had 6,000 customers already when they, just when they started. People are flocking there because they're in North Carolina. They can go to the tribal because they have the rights to sell it. And they're buying everything from vapes to edibles to flour. So
are they legal? So they can
legally.
They can illegally.
Legal.
So they can sell it illegally, but what about purchasing it legally? I guess it can be, right?
Well, that's a good question.
Or are they just allowed to sell it to their own community?
Well, Well, I think it must be legal to sell anybody because 6,000 people from the state are coming, and it's people coming from everywhere.
Okay.
So maybe that
So this is taking money right out of state.
right out of the state. State don't want it
without the 30% excise tax.
Yes.
All because you can't think a little out of the box.
out of the box. Can't get it together.
Man,
and
come
let
on,
the money
North
go to work.
Carolina, get your shit straight.
Get it right.
There's only 12 states that don't have a medicinal program. Only 12.
Shame on them.
Shame
And you
on
know what?
them.
Because they're trying to figure out where the money's going.
Man, I tell you, we should do some cough country protest in these states is what we ought to do.